And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at 6:05 p.m. here on a Wednesday night. It is a Pep Fernandez home edition because I got to run off and go do the California Baptist University men's basketball game tonight on ESPN Plus as the Lancers are back home. They are a perfect 10-0 on their home floor, taking on Dixie State tonight. So we are all good. We are all healthy. We'll be back in the Teen Vision TV 16 audience studio with our great audience out there who we appreciate you guys watching, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. We even streamed live on Instagram last week, so we appreciate it, or watching live on one of our local cable channel affiliates. But tonight at home, and we've got some great interviews coming your way on this Inland Sports Show, including the Valley View girls basketball team. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Plus, Julio Reyes, the head girls soccer coach for Beaumont High School, they're off to an undefeated start. And Aquinas running back JoJo Solisu. And JoJo has more rushing touchdowns and rushing yards than any other freshman running back in the entire country, as he is a Max Preps All-American. So a big show coming your way. And we start first with girls hoops and the Valley View Eagles. They have raced out to a 16-3 start this season, including, well, they won the title at the Ramona Winter Classic as Ari Long, a junior, dropped 50 points, which is a new school record, breaking the old school record set by her older sister. But Ari Long dropping 50, helping Valley View win the Ramona tournament. They are 16-3. They are the team to beat in the Ivy League, and they're going to make a serious run in the CIF playoffs as well. So we had the privilege of sitting down with head coach Leigh Ann Long and two of her daughters, who are fantastic basketball players. We mentioned Ari, the junior, and then there's Mason, the freshman, who is really good as well. Big-time basketball family, 5 daughters in all. They can all hoop, and then, of course, the dad, Jim Long, is the head boys basketball coach at Valley View High School as well. So here's our interview with the Valley View girls basketball team, head coach Leigh Ann Long, and we've got Ari Long. Now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. It's a trio of big-time basketball stars with the Valley View Eagles, of course. We all know Coach Leigh Ann Long, and now we've got more Longs coming through the basketball team. And I'm going to have to ask Coach if these are the babies, or maybe there's one more. I'm not really sure, but joining us on the show, the Valley View Eagles girls basketball team. And Coach Long, first off, we got Ari and Mason, but are they the babies in the family, or is there another Long still coming up?
No, these are the last two. The last two of the Long gals.
Well, Coach, man, it's my first question is just from maybe a family standpoint and not a basketball standpoint, but you know, how cool is it that you get to spend all this time with your daughters and practices and games, and whether it's, you know, going to tournaments and whatnot, that you just have, I mean, that's a lot of extra bonding time and the time you get to spend with your family that maybe a lot of other coaches don't, you know, have the chance to enjoy. How cool is that?
It's what I've always wanted. That kind of was my plan. You know, right when I started out coaching, I got into it right away, and I planned. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be with all my girls, and when I had all girls, it kind of worked out perfectly. And it's a dream come true, to be honest, to be able to spend the time, coach their games, coach them when they were little, and all the way through high school.
All right, so let me talk to, I'm going to go to Ari next, because it was just the other day, I think it was the Ramona Winter Classic, you dropped 50 on a very good King basketball team, MVP, you won the tournament, all that. Ari, would you say that was your best high school game that you've played?
I mean, you know, obviously I played pretty well, scored a ton of points, but, you know, like in the moment, I didn't really know, like, you know, what I was doing. Like, I didn't know I had that many points until like the very end of the game, and they like kind of announced it. So, you know, I was just super locked in. You know, it was a really competitive game. It was super fun. So yeah, I guess it was. I mean, it was probably it was my best scoring game, obviously, and I think like all around, we did super well as a team, and it just kind of kept me really locked in. And yeah, so it was just a good game.
And Coach, was that a school record? That 50?
Yes, it definitely was. Her oldest sister, I believe, had scored in the 40s, and her one of her years, I don't know. So we knew that was the school record at that time, and then it was always Ari's. She always had that in the back of her mind. kind of, I don't think any of us really knew, to be honest. I saw her numbers at half because I usually check the stats at half, but I don't think I had any idea at all. Our stat keeper afterwards told me that she knew, and she was like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx anything. So, but I realized it before they announced it when I was looking at the stats. But yeah, it was pretty special. It was pretty exciting.
So Ari, is there a friendly competition in terms of, you know, like your mom was saying, a sister had the record before you broke it with your 50 points. I mean, is there a friendly competition between, I think there's 5, right, Coach? 5 sisters. And, you know, is there, you know, do you guys maybe spar and jab at each other with that kind of stuff?
There definitely is, especially with, me and my oldest sister, because she holds a ton of records. So I always kind of give her a hard time, just saying like, you know, I'm trying to break them and stuff like that. And she kind of, it's a fun little joke that we have. But yeah, it's just like a ton of, you know, little competitiveness like within that, just because we were all like, you know, pretty good. So we can all kind of like joke around like that. So.
Well, speaking of all being pretty good, let's not forget about Mason over here, who's only a freshman. And Coach, you know, I was going through Max Preps and some other things, and, you know, stat-wise, I mean, Ari and Mason are both putting up fantastic numbers, and it's just crazy that, you know, Mason's only a freshman. What do you think makes her a special player already as a freshman on a varsity team?
Well, I think she's been around it. She's seen it. She's watched all her sisters, you know, go through Valley View and been the stat keeper, the bookkeeper, so she knows what it takes. She's been at practices from a very young age, 0 period from, I think she started school. She's had to be there. And I think, so she understands the game very well, her IQ. She's very competitive. She's skilled. So I think she kind of just fits right into the style that we play, and she kind of knows what she needs to do and kind of gets it done, you know, and does a great job. She's definitely an impact player for us this year and has made us better than we were last year. So it's been great that, you know, we used to tell her, like, Mason, you got to figure it out. Let's go. You know, you're going to be first long on JV to start. And she would always just you know, they're always gnawing at her and chipping away at her. So she's been, you know, she's filled in and done exactly what we wanted her to do. And I'm excited just to have the last 2 be able to play together for 2 years. It's really fun.
Okay, so Mason, with all that said, how fun is it, you know, playing for your mom, playing with your sister Ari on this team, and again, being a freshman playing on a varsity team? There's not a lot of freshmen out there playing at the varsity level. So how much fun are you having and enjoying this season?
It's pretty fun. Sometimes we get in little arguments, but.
Coach, I think I did something with you and your husband a while back, in terms of an article, and I think in the article there was something about balancing family life and coaching life. Like, at some point, do you when you guys get through the front doors, like, hey guys, we're going to stop talking about the game, we're going to stop talking about this, we're going to talk about homework, we're going to talk about what's going on in school, what's for dinner? I mean, how's it balancing in terms of always wanting to coach them up, but also trying to have that divide somewhere in there?
Well, I can say that I definitely have gotten a lot of practice at it. So I feel like I've improved a lot, throughout the years, from the oldest all the way to the last 2. It definitely is a balance. I hear all the time people say, like, I would never want to coach my kid because I don't want to ruin the relationship. And those words just always meant a lot to me. And I was like, that is not going to happen with me. And again, I think I've gotten better at it. I think that the way we kind of handle it is, or I handle it, is during the game, in the practice, during, at the game, I'm their coach. When we get in the car, we kind of have a tendency not to bring it up too much unless they bring it up. If they bring it up and ask questions, then we definitely let them know about it. And I think that kind of works for us, because whether it be in the car, if they ask questions, we'll let them know. If they wait and it's at dinner that night, then we let them know. If it's the next morning, then we let them know. So we kind of just let them decide when they want to know, and then we definitely give it to them. I think we're their biggest critics, and we're very hard on them, but at the same time, they know that we have high standards, and I think they're different type of athletes, and, we expect a lot. So they've done a great job coming through and, taking it all in. But we just kind of balance it by letting them ask us, and they'll say when they, I always give them an extra little push, like, hey, do you want to go to the gym today? When do you want to work out? But it's just little nudges here and there, and maybe a text message here and there, and then they always take it pretty well. We have our moments just like everybody, I'm sure, but kind of let them dictate when they want to hear it, basically, is kind of what I found works. So that's kind of, or I'll tell them, I'll say, hey, your guy, the other morning I said, hey guys, your coach texted you. And they immediately thought it was their travel ball coach, I know. And I was like, make sure you check your texts. And they did. And they were like, oh, and I didn't get one complaint. I was so excited. So kind of just little things like that here and there.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Ari, let me go back to you on this one. Gosh, you're putting up incredible numbers. I know you've got a ton of college offers. What are some of the schools that have already offered? And, without maybe specifically saying, school by name, but what are some things that interest you in a college? Is it what you want to major in? Do you want to stay on the West Coast? Do you want to stay close to your family? Like, what are you kind of looking for in that ideal school to play college basketball?
So for me, I don't really care like location and stuff like that. Like, I'm not super big on like staying super close. I think it'd be cool to kind of, get a new experience and like meet new people. And obviously you can do that like, anywhere, but all my sisters kind of went out of state. So they all kind of got like that far away college experience. So I'm definitely open to that. And even staying close, like I don't really care. But in terms of, major and stuff, like I honestly have no idea what I want to do. All my sisters are kind of going the teaching route along with my parents. So I guess that would be cool, but I don't really know, I don't know. But, in a school, I just definitely want to go to a place where like I'm appreciated and, I'll get in and like be an impact player. Kind of like Mason is on our little team here, but just, going in and, doing what I can to help the team and being successful there. So,
Ari, I think I saw something that, did you run cross country as well? And then my follow-up question to that would be, if you're, born into the Long family, are you automatically a basketball player? Like, did you, 2 years old dribbling a basketball, or did, like you ran cross country? Were you trying other things out along the way?
Yeah, so right now I run cross country, and then me and Mason both play golf along with basketball. That's kind of just like our choice just because we like to do it. And cross country is just because I started it when I was a freshman, and I just, kind of had a little talent for it. And I wouldn't say it's the most enjoyable thing, but, I do it and I've stuck to it. And in regards to like the growing up playing, so yeah, obviously we grew up in the gym. But we also did other things, like we both played softball when we were little. We played soccer. I actually almost chose soccer over basketball. Like, me and my mom had to sit down and have a little talk, before I went into high school. And she was like, you can play soccer if you want. And I was like, okay. And then, something happened, and I was like, like I think my sisters were going to Oregon or something. And I was like, well, I want to go to Oregon. And then, I was like, I guess I'll do basketball. So I just kind of stuck with it, and I'm sure glad I did. So, yeah.
Probably made a good choice. I'm sure the Valley View soccer coach is sad, but I'm sure you made a very good choice. Mason, how do you think your sister Ari, and maybe even your older sisters as well, how do you think they've made you a better basketball player? Because I'm sure you're playing pickup games against them and always having to play up. They're probably always taller and a little bit stronger and a little bit faster. How do you think it's been with them, with your sisters, and making you a better player?
Well, it's definitely helped me, although I've gotten pretty mad sometimes, but I know they're just trying to make me better and push me, even though they block my shots and stuff. But they definitely make me better by doing those things, and pushing me.
And Coach, finally, I know we've been a little long on this one, on this interview, but I appreciate your time. But, the Ivy League, you guys are off to a great start. I'm sure you have some big expectations, this season. You've beaten some great teams in non-league action. What's kind of the goals that you have for the rest of the season for your Eagles?
Well, we're definitely going to just take one game at a time in our league, but obviously our goal is to go undefeated in our league. Last year, we only lost to Paloma Valley. We lost to them twice, and so we took second in our league. So this year, we want to win league. It'd be nice to get through it without a loss, and then hopefully, I mean, we're in Division I. That's pretty tough for us, to be honest. We always seem to stay in that top division. I'm not really sure how, but I mean, we have Ari and Mason. They're both doing a great job, but after that, you know, we kind of struggle a little bit, and we don't really have like a true big, and you know, we don't have a ton of travel ball players on our team, and so we do have a little bit of a tough time in Division I. But our goal is to get a good draw and get past the first round and see what can happen in the second round, because you just never know. The team is doing really well. They've gotten we've gotten a lot better from last year to this year. They're doing what they need to do. You know, Ari's and Mason have both have great assists in the assist category, and that's because other kids are stepping up and making shots when we need them to. So if we can continue to do that, you never know. We might get past the first round, squeak past the second. You never know. We're just hoping to win league, hopefully, and then just take each playoff game one at a time and see what we can do.
And it sounds like you're enjoying the journey along the way, too, you know, spending all that great quality time with your daughters on the basketball court. Coach Long, Ari, Mason, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. Congrats on the great start to the season and continued success the rest of the way, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
All right, that is Coach Leigh Ann Long. We got Ari in the middle and Mason on the end here from the Valley View girls basketball team here on the Inland Sports Show. All right, so that was our interview with the Long family at Valley View High School. Great girls basketball team, enjoying a great season. They've got the inside track on an Ivy League championship and hopefully a deep playoff run. And how cool is it that Leigh Ann, the mom, gets to hang out with two of her daughters. All five played basketball. All five were great. Her husband's the boys basketball coach. So it's a lot of Longs at Valley View High School, and how cool is that? So we're going to take our first commercial break of the evening. When we come back, we will have Beaumont girls soccer coach Julio Reyes. This guy played at Rancho Verde High School. He went on to play at UC Riverside. He's also an assistant coach at Mount San Jacinto College, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But Julio Reyes coming up next here on the Inland Sports Show. We will be right back after this.
We talk about this a lot with our student athletes. We talk about working hard, we talk about grinding, we talk about how hard you work. But at the end of the day, it's about applying the right effort. If you're constantly doing things that are easy for you, that's not really the right effort. The right effort moves you out of your comfort zone. The right effort moves you closer to your goal. So, I talk about, what are you doing at night? What are you doing to prep for the next day? Are you staying up at night being on social media? Or are you, watching television? Are you, eating junk food? Are you getting a good night's sleep, which is going to help prepare you mentally and physically to grow the next day? Is your training moving you out of your comfort zone? Are you doing things are you working on your weaknesses? Or are you doing things that you're already good at? So, there's a lot of effort. A lot of kids say they work hard, but you're not working hard unless you're doing things that aren't easy. Because if you're doing what's easy, it's just, it's not really hard work. It's work, but it's not the right work. So if you're ready to put in that right work, the right effort, then come on down and check us out at the Boost Performance Center.
The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. On Wednesday night, we appreciate you tuning in. A big thanks to Leigh Ann Long and her daughters Ari and also Mason for joining us on the show, talking a little Eagle girls basketball. Now we're talking Beaumont girls soccer. And through the first 13 matches of the season, the Cougars have not lost a single match, including 10 victories, going strong. And like a lot of programs out there, whether it's basketball or soccer or water polo or wrestling, having to juggle through different lineups because of COVID and injuries and different things. But Beaumont's keeping it together. They're making a run at the Citrus Belt League title, and two more big games this week, including a huge one on Friday against Yucaipa. Their head coach, Julio Reyes, joined us here on the Inland Sports Show to talk about their great start this season, what it'll take to make another CIF championship run, because remember, they're a D5 champion from 2020, not too long ago, right? So they're trying to do it all over again, and they've got a great group of, well, actually some players from that team from 2020 who are still in the program, and some great up-and-coming talent. So here is Julio Reyes talking some Beaumont girls soccer here on the Inland Sports Show. Now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the head girls soccer coach for the Beaumont Cougars, and they are undefeated to start the season. The great Julio Reyes. And Coach, before we dive in and talk some Beaumont High School girls soccer here, and you guys are off to a great start. Now we're in CBL play. But we were talking off camera a little bit. Man, you are a hyper-local guy. You played at Rancho Verde High School. You played at UC Riverside. You also coach at Mount San Jacinto College for the women's program as an assistant out there. What is it about the IE? What do you love about the IE? You call it home. You stayed here. Now you're bringing up the next generation of soccer stars.
Definitely. Well, first of all, Pep, thanks for having us. Want to let you know what I think about the Inland Empire is, as you know, there's a lot of low-income areas. So I think me as a coach, giving out like in my club team, my Beaumont team, MSJC, I feel like I'm a role model to these kids or students that I never had when I was growing up in this area, and also giving the opportunity to train at the next level, because some people can't afford that. And I think that opportunity, because we're also at the schools as well. Like I told you earlier, we've been working with 40,000 students at school districts. So I feel like a lot of kids are like, oh my God, even parents will reach out to me like, my kid like loves you guys. Our program is called Kicks to Learn, as you said earlier. So I think just giving back to them, giving them the opportunity, because there is definitely a lot of talent in the area. So sometimes kids seeing, oh, I like soccer, or, you know, hey, I did basketball at school today. I like basketball. Just giving them the opportunity to get that experience. Just like, oh, I want to play this. I want to do this. I like this coach. I want to be like him, that stuff. But I think there's a lot of talent, but there should be a lot more role models in our area to give back to the students, to the kids.
And real quick, Coach, if we can just drill down a little bit deeper here on this Kicks to Learn. I mean, this is a big community outreach. Like, you're doing it at recesses, at lunches, after school, on Saturdays, just trying to be a great ambassador for the sport, right?
Definitely, yeah. And it's like you said, lunch recess. We're actually going in the mornings as well. Sometimes we're at school all day working with different grade levels. So like I said, the teachers love it, the principals love it, and most importantly, the students are having fun and having a great role model at their school site.
No, that's awesome. That's, and soccer is just booming right now. And of course, in the IE, there's so many great programs. And of course, Beaumont girls soccer, one of those great programs. And, Coach, this season, you guys are off to an undefeated start. And I know, like a lot of programs, there's been some ups and downs, and you've already had your own obstacles this season. But, what has been the real key, secret ingredient for you guys so far early on in this season? What do you credit the success you guys have had so far, and what do you think will continue to carry on through CBL play here?
I think this year they've asked me that question before already, and I told them, like, our team chemistry is the best I've had in these 4 years that I've been here. Like, their thing right now is the girls are saying, stay hungry and stay focused. So even on our group text, like, the emoji is like the fork and the plate. Like, they're hungry. They're all hungry, especially like the seniors. We're hungry. That's our thing right now. We're hungry, stay focused. So even when they score, like, even at practice, they're like, we're eating, we're eating good. That's their thing right now. They're staying hungry, they're staying focused. But overall, it's just us as a team. Our team chemistry is the best. Our freshmen on the team and our seniors, it looks like they've been together for the last 3 years. And we've had no issues, because usually, like, when freshmen join the team, they're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable around the seniors. And this year, like, we do not have that problem. So that's been awesome.
And Coach, speaking of, seniors and having some, great young talent coming up in the program as well. But for those seniors, for some of the returning players, do you have any holdovers from that 2020 CIF championship team that are still, on the squad now?
Yeah, we actually have seven from that CIF title that we won. Actually, 2 of them actually just got injured, but they're still there. Like, it's still a good core, and I think it's like a good example for the younger ones. Like, oh man, they won CIF. Like, we want to do that now. And
so that's probably great, right? Having players who have I hate to use a cliche, but they've been through the process of what it takes to win a championship, and maybe they could pass that down as an extension of you, like, on the field to the younger players. Right.
They know that we have to put in the work, and they're setting the example to the younger ones, which I'm loving it. Having those leaderships on the field and off the field, because I think that's something we like to build. Leaders on the field and off the field, not just developing skill-wise or soccer-wise, but also leaders for the future.
Well, Coach, so far so good for you guys. What are some areas though that you feel like, maybe you can still get better? Maybe this team still has room for improvement.
So I tell the girls there's always room for improvement. Every day we want to improve. We come out here, we want to improve, get better at something. If you think you're the best, come talk to me. I'll tell you what you need to improve on. But overall, as a team, if we had to improve on something, is definitely on the final third, just putting them away, because we have kept a lot of clean sheets. Actually, we've only got a few goals scored on. That means defense, goalkeeper-wise, we're doing a really good job. Midfield, we're combining pretty well, but we're getting up top, but we're not tucking them away. If we finish our opportunities, those close games that we're winning 1-0 or, 4-3 that we've been in, or tied 2-2, like, we should have came out winning if we were able to put our opportunities away.
Coach, funny you say that, because we've been talking more and more soccer here on the Inland Sports Show, and a lot of coaches have said, hey, the one area that we could really get better at is finishing. And so if you figure it out, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of coaches out there. They're going to be like, what's your secret? Because, yeah, just finishing those opportunities up top, it seems to be, what a lot of programs, a lot of teams are looking for. Because you're right. I've seen enough soccer games where a team can dominate all match long, but the other team gets one good shot on goal and on frame, and they put it in. soccer's a cruel game like that.
And I think it's kind of like a puzzle sometimes. You know, maybe you have that striker in the beginning. So like actually my CIF run, I had my striker, you know, and we had no defense. We had no center back. And I was like, no, you're not a striker. Like you could defend, you're aggressive. And I converted her from a striker to a center back. And that CIF run, like she did super good. Super good. But I think, yeah, coaching is a puzzle sometimes. Like, yeah, you might have that striker, but you need an outside back. You know, and those usually the strikers are the all-round players that could cover those positions. So it's a puzzle for sure. And definitely you want to be solid in the back. You know, that's the most important part.
So as a coach, do you want to make sure you shore up your defense? You know, like, hey, if the other team can't score, I know we're not going to lose. We'll take care of the defense, and then we'll work on the offense next. Definitely.
That's always been my thing. Let's make sure we know what we're doing in the back, even in the midfield, defensive midfielders, know where we're supposed to be on the field. If we could get the ball on top, okay, now let's work on that. Okay, but yeah, my first thing is let me figure out my defense, make sure I have a good back line, even holding midfielders, and then let's work from there.
All right,
so we're
Coach.
at that point right now where we got that figured out, and then we're working on our attacking third.
All right, so I hate to leave people out, but let's do a little name dropping. Who are some of these players on defense that you're leaning on this season?
So our goalie's really good. She's got a lot of shutouts. Caitlin Bustos. Actually, I already got some offers, you know, as a junior, which is awesome. I think our whole back line, like, I cannot choose one because they're all solid. Like, they're all good. Like, for my left back, center back, right back, I couldn't choose, hey, this is my best defender, because I think we have our defense is solid. We're like, I can't say like we have a best defense. So shout out to my defense, you know, my defense and my goalie, like 6 goals in, you know, 12, 13 games or 8 goals, whatever it is, with a bunch of shutouts. You know, that's awesome. That's huge. So yeah, I can't pick a name. I'll name them all: Corinne Jones, Mason Cornish, Delaney, and Ava. You know, and Caitlin. They've all been awesome in the back. But not to take away credit from the team, because when coaches ask me like, "Oh, what's your best? Like, what are you best at?" I think we're an all-around team. Like, even our midfield is doing an awesome job, and our defense, even because our forwards, that's where we start our defense. You know, if they're on a goal kick, our forwards moving around, knowing where to be on the field to stop their attack right away. So all around, I think defensively, from our top to our back, we know what we're doing. Now we're figuring out the attack wise. So shout out to just my team, just taking instructions and doing a good job this season.
Well, Coach, you know, what do you think it's going to take to make another CIF playoff run? And, you know, what did you learn in 2020 about that playoff run that you can apply now? Is there some things that you learned along the way during that championship run?
Definitely, for sure, because we're going to have, even right now, you know, we have COVID cases, injuries, and like we did over there, the CIF run, girls stepping up, knowing how to play a position as a reserve player. And these last couple of games, actually, we had like some of our better players out with COVID or injuries, and our reserve players have stepped up and done a really good job. So I think just the reserve players, trusting them and letting them know that I trust them as a coach to step on the field and take a starter position to do the job. So I feel like there's me as a coach being confident with my team gives them that confidence booster. And like they say, you know, stay hungry and stay focused is what's going to get us there.
Like you said, the old fork and knife, right? Stay hungry, the stay hungry emoji. Coach, let's finish on this because, you know, we talked about off the top of the show that you're a hyper-local guy, played high school here, played college here, you're coaching here. What are some of your coaching influences? Who are some of the coaches that you've been able to play for or maybe coach along with that have really kind of shaped who you are right now?
Definitely my coaches at UC Riverside, Junior Gonzalez and Tim Capello. Definitely I see them as as mentors. You know, I still talk to Tim Capello a little bit, you know, if I ever need some soccer advice. Or if even like, hey, I'm free this morning, can I go to your session? He'll invite me out. We're comfortable with each other. So definitely Tim Capello would be number 1. And then number 2 would be Junior Gonzalez for sure. But they've been great influence, just me doing my sessions just like they did. And Junior Gonzalez is now like a pro coach right now. So I could even say like, tell my girls, hey, they're like, this is boring. Like, yeah, pro teams are doing this. It is boring, but in the long run, you know, it's effective.
If it works, right? If the pros are doing it and they're having some success, they're obviously doing something right.
Definitely.
Well, Coach Reyes, listen, I always appreciate the time. Congrats on the great start, and I know there's probably a lot of still unfinished business for you guys this season, trying to bring home a Citrus Belt League title, and again, making another great playoff run. And quickly, Beaumont girls soccer has been one of the top programs in the IE, so congrats on that as well. Thank
you. I appreciate that, and thank you for having us. It's always love your show. It's awesome just seeing other coaches and you keeping up with the best programs, which is awesome. And again, thank you for having us. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Coach. I'm a big soccer guy. I know soccer gets, the beginning of soccer gets overshadowed because we're in the football playoffs. So, we get through the football playoffs and now we got to turn our attention to, soccer and basketball. But I'm a big soccer guy, so I try to give the soccer guys some love out there.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, you have to get the word out that soccer could be just as good as football. World Cup is coming up, so maybe we could start matching that a little bit.
Start the hype now, right? Get people excited.
Definitely.
All right, that's Julio Reyes, the head girls soccer coach at Beaumont High School. Also at Mount San Jacinto, MSJC too, as well, an assistant out there. And check out the Kicks to Learn program. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, so that was Beaumont girls soccer coach Julio Reyes. We'll take another quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll hear from Jojo Solis, running back at Aquinas High School. We got our Big Boost Play of the Week and our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. We'll be back with more Inland Sports Show right after this.
What up, y'all? Boostman here. Gonna break you off with a quick 2 cent. Parents, here are 3 reasons why you need to enroll your athlete into a strength conditioning program as the new year approaches. 1, to relieve them of all the repetitive motions of their sport. 2, to become bigger, stronger, and faster and a better overall athlete. And 3, to develop a relentless work ethic.
The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Kin Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kinsportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Kin Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. What was going to happen with that, Chargers-Raiders game. So many things, like a domino effect, had to fall into place to make it like a super interesting and drama-filled final game on Sunday Night Football for the Raiders and the Chargers. And guys, listen, the Raiders and the Chargers, they could have tied and both made the playoffs. Like, what's not to say that the Raiders on that final kick to win in overtime, why didn't they just take a knee and be like, okay, Chargers are going in? They could have.
They could have. That thought was there. It was there, and it was discussed from what we heard from the coach.
There's a lot of video coming out now that, the Raiders coach was saying he was thinking about going to the tie at points during the game. Tampa Bay doesn't feel like it. Right. I can see Dallas, not showing up either. Like,
I feel like 40's team is real dangerous. The Raiders are in there. They're dangerous. Yeah. Look out. I like it.
I think the AFC is wide open. But I think the NFC's, to me at least, a little top heavy. I think the Packers are really good. I think the Rams are really good, even though they just lost to the 49ers. I thought the Buccaneers, if they're healthy and have everybody, they're pretty good. But the AFC, I have no idea. The Raiders could get to the Super Bowl. I'm saying that right now. The Raiders could get to the Super Bowl. All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. As we're wrapping things up here, we'll get to our big boost play of the week and our Ken's Sporting Goods must-see game of the week. But right now, airing on IEMG TV3, you can find our exclusive interview with JoJo Solis, the freshman running back for the Aquinas Falcons, who led all freshmen in the entire country in rushing yards. He had over 2,000, and rushing touchdowns. He had 37 on the ground, and he's a freshman. Here's just a snippet of our exclusive interview with JoJo Solis. Did maybe you surprise even yourself of how well you did at the varsity level as a freshman?
And I was so surprised on how I did. I never knew that I could accomplish such big things at such a young age. That was crazy to me. Now, and it's just gonna continue for the next 3 years.
JoJo, when I first saw you, it was the Temecula Valley passing tournament, and I know you got kind of banged up at that tournament, but I remember being down there and Coach Brusig and some of the other Aquinas coaches, they were saying, man, this JoJo guy, he could be special. He's pretty good, but even I was surprised, man. You were unstoppable. You were catching the ball out of the backfield. You were playing defense. You did a little bit of everything for this Aquinas football team this year. Did you know going into the season you were going to play such an important part of the offense?
I didn't at first. When we first started in summer ball, they had me everywhere. They had me a receiver, slot, running back. We were just trying to figure out what was the best fit for me on the offense. And then one game, Xavier Prep. After Xavier Prep, I just stayed at running back.
Now, JoJo, you're a Max Preps freshman All-American. There was not another freshman in the entire country that had more touchdowns than you on the ground, more rushing yards than you. Do you keep track of those stats, or did somebody tell you at the end of the season that you were #1 for freshmen in the country? How did you find out?
I found out by my dad. He keeps up with all that. I don't really like to keep up with all the politics and all the yards and all the stats and stuff. I just play, and then at the end of the season, what I do, I'll find out.
And look for more with JoJo Solis, airing right now on IEMG TV3 and the IE Media Group YouTube channel. And speaking of Aquinas, the Falcons boys basketball team with a huge game coming up against Linfield Christian. That is a Wednesday night game. In fact, Aquinas coming up with a big win on Tuesday night on the road against Ontario Christian, as the Falcons picked up a 46-32 win. Both teams, Aquinas and Linfield Christian, both 5-0. Both teams expected to make deep CIF playoff runs.
Inland Sports.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show, Home Edition. We're all good. Running off to the California Baptist University men's basketball game tonight against Dixie State in Western Athletic Conference play. It should be a good one. Hope you'll join me on ESPN+. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time with another Inland Sports Show.